exciting update from Games Workshop. They've just announced a new bit of information for the Allopexes for the upcoming Idoneth Deepkin Battletome launching in 2022. Now, in the Fury of the Deep FOMO box that was released recently, they put in Warscroll cards for the new Allopexes, and we've already seen a couple of things. One, we know that their shooting attack has gone up to D3 damage over damage 1. They also got a points increase to, I think, 185 points, and they got coherency of 3 inches, very much like dragons, but very much unlike plague drones or blight lords, whatever they're called, or the mortal plague drones. So they haven't got that. So they've got this 3-inch coherency, basically, which is pretty nice. We've also found out, and this is huge news, which is very exciting, they will be battle line if you take the sub-faction, the Futhwan Enclave. So they will be Battleline Sharks, which is really exciting because that means you'll be able to reinforce them more than once. So you can have a unit of 3 Allopexes, which is pretty sweet. Having them as battle line is pretty cool as well. And this means that almost all, if not everything inside the Idoneth Deepkin book can be battle line at some point. And you can spam them to your heart's content, which is super fun. Because fish, genuinely pretty rare in the seas now. So it's nice to see them not being rare in the mortal realms. The other sort of thing that we've seen is this bloodthirsty shiver. So they've announced this, and it does sound like it's I suppose a unit of 3 with extra steps, as Phil Spriggers has said in the chat. Another version of this would be, it kind of sounds like a battalion that just isn't a battalion. But what I think it might be is just your sub-faction allegiance ability. Like you would get in Hammers of Sigmar, where you get a 6-up ward for units within 6 inches. Unlike Hammers of Sigmar, though, this really requires you to have units, which is why it feels more like a battalion. So the Futhwan allegiance ability is called the Bloodthirsty Shiver. This allows you to include, you can include a Bloodthirsty Shivers in your army, and at the start of the combat phase, you get to pick 1 unit from each Bloodthirsty Shiver in your army. Now, it doesn't say how you build the Bloodthirsty Shiver here, and instead, it does say it further up in the article. So these articles sometimes cannot be 100% correct, so a little bit concerned about that. But it does say, in order to create a Shiver, you must have 3 units of single Allopexes. So you couldn't have 3 units of 3 Allopexes, for example, if you made them battle line, although that would be over your reinforcement points anyway. But you couldn't have a single Allopex and 2 units of 3 Allopexes. It sounds like it has to have 3 single 1 Allopexes. And what this does is, if you you get to choose one of the units inside of a Shiver, and they get Exploding 6s. If they're within 3 inches of another unit from the same Shiver, then they get Exploding 6s. So Exploding 6s normally generate 2 hits, but if you're close enough, you'll generate 3 hits, which sounds pretty great for the Allopex fighting attack. Allopex melee attack, because they're pretty good fighters anyway in melee. If anything, I would want that bit to be buffed from this unit. Now, we don't know how these Shivers are put together. Maybe that's going to be one of the larger allegiance abilities that Idoneth Deep can get. Maybe there'll be different types of Shivers. Maybe there'll be one with an Allopex in, and then, like, because there is a picture, as you can see here, maybe there'll be one with an Allopex and a unit of Eels, one with a turtle and a unit of Allopexes. Maybe there'll be different types of Shivers. So effectively, core battalions or the old Warscroll battalions with extra steps that don't cost any points. We don't know how it works yet, but it's super exciting. I, for one, I'm very excited about the Idoneth Deepkin changes. I think it could be super, super fun to see these armies on the tabletop, and I'm looking forward to see more of them in the future. Please do let me know what you think in the comments below, and see you guys soon.